Hello, and welcome back to Divinity Original Sin 2, Definitive Edition. So last time we killed Magister Waters. Surprisingly, no one else decided to attack me, so there is that. Okay, nothing here. Sibyl.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
If she can decide fates with dice, ask if she can read the future in cow and trails as well. No,
She
let's take our
smiles
leave.
contemptuously.
Just a kitten in a corner, aren't we?
I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. I'll give you that knuckle.
Beast
if you
and
carry it
Jill.
on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
I
Can
saw
we
a bedroll.
Skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up.
We could use some.
You think me mad?
Okay.
Insufferable.
A broad
Let's try
dwarf
to-
sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Boy, you tell him he ought to think twice. Ask what you are meant to be hearing, wave his request away, and ask him what he knows about the murder on board. Well, let's go for option one.
He turns his head toward you, looking you up and down, and smiles before turning his attention to the ship once more.
You look like a boy to me. Listen if you're interested, or get gone if you aren't.
So what
The
he meant to
ship,
hear?
of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash, and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And
Uh, Tell him that the ship is moaning like a sick man.
sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close.
Close your eyes and try to let the ambient sounds on the ship fade away.
There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Nod, you heard it. What's it supposed to be?
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Um, Ask why he's so excited about reaching for Joy. You haven't heard anything good about the place.
No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
Ooh.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Cock an eyebrow. If he's hatching an escape plan, you
He
want in.
continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
Okay.
You're
Jill.
one of them. A divine order loyal. They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
I don't have anything to trade. Long branch. This is actually useful for crafting.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
Pum pum pum. Sheet of paper. Wood chips.
How dare you
Yeah, let's
classify
give
this
him wood
slop
chips.
as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken
Did we read this book?
There's nothing
Okay,
else
yeah,
I can
we
make,
can sell
Your
that.
Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Bottle of beer
Unacceptable.
and a
I've
mug
never
of beer.
dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner,
Okay.
and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Okay,
Well,
let's
well,
drag
what
into the
have
Red
we
Prince.
here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
The nerve. Slap away his hand hard.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Tell him you're not answering his damn questions. Take your leave.
Goodness gracious me, what a bore. Off with you. Quite clearly, you wouldn't have done at all. Shoo.
Okay.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too.
Some trade.
As soon as the
Stained
Inquisitor
shirt,
gets here,
gold.
we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
Pum, pum, pum. Where is the book?
It was one of them. I know it.
Short stick.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They
Okay.
don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
Mug of
I'll
beer.
give you that knuckle if you keep carrying
Done.
on.
Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall.
So
Reassure you and you shut up,
we can do some crafting. We have a,
lad. Insufferable, surely.
I think it's like that. This creates a short stick, and short stick with a knife creates
Long enough for me to listen.
an arrow shaft. So this will be an arrow.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
I think there's something else we can
Right.
do with that.
I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mest.
Mm,
Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a
well,
campfire.
okay, this is enough for now. Let's move on.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this loser woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Uh,
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
okay, let's play along and take her arm with the green. Tell the children they must be
How
mistaken.
very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Say that that's true enough. Shake her hand and
You presume right.
tell her she ought to have a look around with you. You can watch each other's backs.
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Ask her if she knows anything about the murder.
Nope. Trying not to find any...
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Good luck, Chief.
Okay. Let's move on. There's something here. No.
Please, please, please. That's enough now.
Fame.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin, gently tugging at it.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Reach over and ruffle his hair with a grin.
What purpose did that serve? Was that a greeting? Was it... Oh. Oh dear. I seem to have crossed some cultural taboo. How... difficult. You have my apologies, human. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
Who is this guy?
Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... Well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough. It is pleasurable to meet you.
Ask him what exactly he's seeking. There is a lot of knowledge in the world.
There? Wherever do you keep it? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Well, let's go for human.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
Ask why he's so curious about the gods.
The elf's face freezes for just a second before he waves his hand dismissively.
Oh, it's just one of my idle curiosities. We mortals do like to consider these things, do we not? Now, please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Let's insist.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your...
Well, fine. Okay, there is one more over here.
Never thought you'd end up
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
Yeah.
He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken
We
Let's
used to
ask
know
him.
each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
Ask Ethan what he did to find himself.
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties.
Say that you are still curious about the murder.
No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough.
Ask Ethan about Fort
The
Joy.
Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
So let's go for option 3. Say you've no interest in Alexander, all you care about is surviving.
Not interested in the son of the divine himself? I don't blame you one bit. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You? What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
Oh, let's refuse.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
I'll find out. I always do. Now away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
Okay, let's go to the galley. There is garlic here. Healing potion, nice.
Never thought you'd end up
Another
in prison,
apple.
Vic.
Mug of water. Well, might come in handy, but I doubt that.
Your kind always
Resurrection scroll, awesome. What was that? Washing tub, no.
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right.
Cooking pot, mashed potatoes. Small poison bottle. Mashed potatoes. Potato, pocket knife, nice. Journal. Mug of wine. Okay, let's take that. Journal. The tome contains no text, instead sketches of dragons fill every page. The artist is hardly talented, but clearly enthusiastic. Okay. Pum pum pum. The knife. Okay, so this is the same as the one I have. Let's do the two knives then. And this door is locked and I can't open that, as far as I remember. Okay.
How dare you classify
classify this slop as food.
What's quick
I've
save?
seen more
Is it
appetizing
F5?
things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Quick save, F5, right.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger.
Let's try to trade.
I've never
So
dined
the
on anything
book
less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the
and wood chips.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty.
Mm,
Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
so cash is good.
You faring okay so far?
Uh, well, yeah, let's go for option 4.
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, sir, but we all wear what we wear for a reason. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Okay. Requisition, ink boat, note, requisition. Note, a few of them are in good spirits, especially the children. The others are sullen. Don't blame them, change is rough. But they'll make new friends sooner or later, and when we cure them for good, they'll be thanking us, not cursing. Well, most of them. That elf with the dice and that lone wolf, the creaky-voiced woman in the kitchen, some folks won't get over it. Reckon they won't be first to get cured, if they're ever cured at all.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Okay. Bottle of wine, red snapper, chopfish, nice, cheese bread, ham, bottle of wine, pumpkin soup. Okay.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
Perfect opportunity to create a mutiny. Address the sorcerer and ask her what she meant by the others' lives must end. Let's go for option
Means
3.
your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Wow.
What's happened?
Let's search bodies. Some money. Okay. Well, we finally have a bow. Boom, boom, boom. I think there is a second equipment. Well, maybe not. Um, Improvised wand. Okay. Bottle of wine. So everyone is down. Okay. Some boots. Very nice. Pum, pum, pum.
The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled.
Okay. Another body here. Okay. Her shot is a little bit better. Sheep has raw mutton.
The young woman lies in a heap. She doesn't stir.
Okay. There are a couple gods here, so let's check them. Majesty Waters.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a...
Let's take the ancient book. The Soul King insists that there are no magics too foul, even those that would block or even remove the source within an individual. I delight in his madness. It is an invitation to manipulate all which we once believed immutable. He provides all manner of experimental subjects. The text beneath lists a series of hexes and materials required for muting souls. Some of those objects are circled in black ink and annotated as follows: helm, collar, mask. Can't pickpocket. Okay. Let's go upstairs.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
This way is blocked, so let's take the stairs. Water barrel. Let's talk to the dog. What do we have here? Money, good.
Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
There is a chest here.
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters.
Come on. Nice.
Thank the gods. By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer! Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't.
Some crazy banshee come screaming through, and now we got void bugs swarming up top. Saw it coming, I did. Sorcerer mutiny.
Let's try the woman.
Curdled my blood when she appeared. Ship shook like a typhoon had struck, and then she was gone again. Look around. You see how that story ends. Nothing but Source can do this.
Okay, let's go for strength. No.
Your life.
Too far. Okay. Oh, come on. Alright, let's get rid of this guy. And then switch to the dock. Well, yeah, that's definitely a lot easier than the classic mode. I think last time I played this in classic, and those guys had full health, not half health. Okay. Blood dead. Another tooth. Okay, another journal. The smeared ink makes the journal difficult to read, but you manage to make out much of the latest entry. Letter. Shabby letter. Come on. Scroll, good. Bust of Alexander. Yeah, no thank you. So these are some history books. The paintings can be very useful, but not all of them. But some of them cost a lot of money and weigh, well, not that much. I know it's locked, but come on, have a weapon. And gold cup, good. Forgery of a painting.
Damn it! Need to get off this wreck quick.
Okay.
Something's pounding on my hull.
Let's see. Let's loot some more. Okay, another bow.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You don't recognize the symbol, but it's clearly... You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color drains from your hand, and you are left numb.
Well,
It
let's
doesn't
open the door.
budge.
Okay, it doesn't budge. Well, I guess we're gonna continue that next time. Thank you for watching, and good luck and have fun playing.